From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. The most significant cold outbreak since last spring is expected to unfold across the eastern U.S. from this weekend into early next week, bringing freezes to parts of the south and the first snow of the season to parts of the north. The first wave of cold air will arrive with and behind a fast-moving storm system known as an Alberta Clipper, originating from southwestern Canada. Where it is windy, AccuWeather RealFeel temperatures could fall 10 to 20 degrees or more below the actual air temperature. With these conditions, AccuWeather RealFeel temperatures will fall into the single digits across parts of the plains and northeast, and into the 30s and 40s during the day in the southeast. Some of the biggest abnormalities during the cold air outbreak will be centered on the interior southeast by Monday, where temperature departures will range from 15 to 25 degrees below the historical average. For example, in Atlanta on Monday, high temperatures are forecast to be in the mid-40s, which is more than 20 degrees below average for mid-November and 10 degrees below what it is more common for January. Chicago will experience a couple of days with highs in the 30s Sunday and Monday, even on the Atlantic coast, where the cold air often struggles to settle in during the late autumn and early winter. Highs in New York City will be in the 40s on Tuesday. AccuWeather's Tristan Irish said that most areas in Kansas, Nebraska, and Missouri have only experienced brief periods of cold, with the lowest temperatures near or well above freezing so far this autumn. This is in sharp contrast to Sunday and Monday, where highs may only be in the 40s to 50s, with lows in the teens and 20s. The cold will also bring an end to the growing season for areas that have yet to experience a hard freeze, stretching from parts of the plains to the Midwest, Northeast, and Southeast. Another strong storm is gearing up to blow into the West Coast, bringing damaging wind and heavy rain on the heels of a separate midweek storm. AccuWeather meteorologists say residents will finally get a break in the active pattern over the weekend. The midweek storm delivered wind gusts of 75 miles per hour at Reno, Nevada, and 69 miles per hour at Siskiyou County Airport, California. In the 48-hour period ending around midday Wednesday, rainfall totals included a little over 2.5 inches in Florence, Oregon, and just shy of 2.5 inches in Crescent City, California, with additional rain expected. Snow levels stayed high, with the first storm staying above mountain pass elevations through the Cascades and the northern Sierra Nevada. Snow levels will drop into Friday morning as the storm intensifies over the Pacific Northwest, lowering through the passes in Washington and potentially creating slippery travel conditions and reduced visibility for motorists crossing the Cascades. A few inches of slushy snow may accumulate through Friday morning across parts of the Cascades, leading to slippery travel on Stevens and Snoqualmie passes in Washington. Localized flash flooding and mudslides are possible in areas that receive heavy rain from either storm, particularly near recent wildfire burn scars. Rainfall from the second storm may be limited along the I-5 corridor in Northern California. Following the midweek storm that caused flight delays, the second system is not expected to bring significant rain to San Francisco or Sacramento. Through Friday, rainfall from the storms this week is expected to total 2 to 8 inches from the northern California coast to western Washington and southwestern British Columbia, with up to 12 inches possible on west and southwest facing slopes of the Cascades, Coast Ranges, and Olympic Mountains. The rainfall will cause small streams and short-run rivers to flow fast and run high from northwestern California to southwestern British Columbia. Rain will run off into local lakes and reservoirs, contributing to a rise in water levels. The damp ground where it rains will act as a buffer against wildfires in the short term. The late-week storm is expected to bring lighter winds to northern California and southern Oregon compared to the midweek system. However, winds may be strong enough to cause flight delays at Seattle and Vancouver airports Friday morning. Most power outage risks associated with the second storm are expected to occur farther north, in contrast to the midweek storm. For those not ready for the onslaught of winter-style storms setting up this early, a pause in the storm train is coming this weekend with clouds breaking along the Pacific coast and plenty of sunshine for much of California. Fog may develop in interior valleys Friday night and Saturday night, especially in areas that received significant rainfall earlier in the week. Any fog that develops may be slow to dissipate during the midday and afternoon due to the limited mid-November sun angle and light winds. Travelers may need extra time during the late night and early morning hours due to reduced visibility from fog. That's all for now. You can find more regional forecasts and science-based articles at AccuWeather.com. And for your local forecast at your fingertips 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. I'll be back tomorrow with more from AccuWeather.